Solomon, the rise of wisdom and the fall of devotion. A tale of splendor and surrender. Solomon's path to the throne was anything but ordinary. Born of David and Bathsheba, his very existence was touched by redemption, though the shadows of his parents' sin lingered. God had plans for this child. When the time came to name a successor, God told David, "It is Solomon who shall build my house." And so, amid palace intrigue and brotherly rebellion, Solomon rose not by might, but by divine appointment. Early in his reign, Solomon displayed humility rare for a young king. When the Lord appeared to him in a dream and offered him anything, Solomon did not ask for riches or victory, but for wisdom to govern God's people. Pleased, God granted him not only wisdom, but wealth and honor beyond compare. The world took notice. Kings and queens traveled to hear his judgment, none more famous than the Queen of Sheba, who left breathless by his brilliance. Solomon's wisdom was legendary. He judged disputes with divine clarity, composed proverbs still quoted today, and wrote poetry that stirred the soul. Most glorious of all, he built the temple of the Lord, a wonder of architecture and worship where the Ark of the Covenant found its resting place. When he dedicated the temple, the presence of God descended like a cloud, and Solomon's heartfelt prayer echoed through generations. May the Lord our God be with us, as he was with our ancestors. For a time, Solomon reigned in peace. Israel flourished, the land was safe, gold flowed like water, wisdom ruled the palace. But over time, Solomon's heart drifted. He loved many foreign women, 700 wives and 300 concubines. They came with idols, and Solomon, the wisest man on earth, compromised. He built high places for idols. He burned incense to gods his fathers never knew. And the Lord was grieved. Though God had blessed him richly, Solomon's later years were marked by spiritual erosion. He no longer lived by the wisdom he taught. His divided heart led to a divided kingdom after his death. What can today's Christians learn from Solomon's reign? First, God-given wisdom is powerful, but it must be lived out daily. Knowing the right path is meaningless unless we walk it. 2. Success and comfort can become idols. Solomon's riches and peace dulled his dependence on God. 3. No one is above temptation. Even the wisest can fall when they ignore God's word. 4. Our legacy is shaped not only by how we begin, but how we finish. Solomon started strong, but his compromise cast a long shadow. 5. Guard your heart. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. Words Solomon wrote, but seemingly forgot. Solomon's tale is a paradox, a man blessed by God, yet broken by his own choices. But even in his regret, we hear wisdom's voice calling us back. Let us not just pray for wisdom, but also for grace to be faithful, so that we may not only build, but also endure, walking humbly with our God to the very end.